We have a very special guest, Grandma McOmber, my Namuti, and she's going to tell us a little bit about St. Nicholas Day when she was a child on December 6th.
Okay, this is Grandma. When she was a little girl, this is how her Christmas went.
I have very fond memories of Christmas. During my childhood, it was one of the greatest, most exciting occasions in our life. St. Nicholas Day is the 6th of December, and we expected St. Nicholas in our house, and he was going around to visit the good boys and girls. Right behind him was the bad man with a red tongue and a hairy black skin on him and horns on his head. Thank you. And we, everybody was scared of the bad man, but he never came to our house because Jane and I were just good little girls. Every 6th of December, my Aunt Marie came and she brought lots of goodies. She was the one who waited for St. Nicholas to come to our house. Mother always left, and to meet St. Nicholas so she could direct him to our house. We were all excited and anxious to see St. Nicholas, and finally the doorbell rang and St. Nicholas came in a beautiful outfit and he was dressed like a Catholic bishop with a beautiful cap on his head like the Catholic bishops wear. What do you call it?
A Pope hat.
Something like a Pope hat. Ruthie says Pope hat, but I don't know. Anyway, he looked real beautiful. And then finally the doorbell rang, and my Aunt Marie, who always came on St. Nicholas Day, she opened the door, and here was St. Nicholas with a little bell in his hand, and oh, was he beautiful, dressed all in white, and he had a beautiful face with a beautiful white beard. And
He was dressed in white.
no, he was really dressed like a Catholic priest when he's attending his Mass, with a beautiful Catholic bishop's cap on his head. And he came in and asked questions and asked us if we know how to pray and if we know how to say the Lord's Prayer, and we had to recite the Lord's Prayer. And I was always amazed how he knew everything about all of our doings, whatever was wrong and right, and how our report cards were, and what we did in school and otherwise. And then he gave us some goodies, and we sang a song, and he left. we were all excited. And after a while, my mother came back, and we were so disappointed that she missed Santa Claus. And she wasn't there when Santa Claus came. St. Nicholas. It wasn't Santa Claus, it was St. Nicholas. What else was there? When he left, we had some nuts and candies and cookies. And besides that, we put our plate in between the windows, because on his way home to heaven, St. Nicholas always left some goodies in the plate in the windows. And in the morning when we got up, we had more cookies and candy and good things in the plates. I remember how Jane, as a little girl, she wanted more than to have the goodies in his plate, so she put her house slipper in the window besides her plate, and she expected that it would be filled with candy and cookies. But in the morning she hurried to the window and looked inside. We had double windows, so she opened the inside windows and looked in her slipper. But oh, she was disappointed. She found a piece of coal in her slipper instead of the expected candy. And so that was quite a lesson to her, that she shouldn't ask for more than what was expected. Santa Claus gave her plenty, and we all were happy and excited, and from then on we waited for Christmas.
Now, what day was St. Nicholas Day?
St. Nicholas Day is the 7th of December. 6th of December. I don't know now for sure.
And then you had Christmas the 25th.
Yes, but the main celebration, the most important day of Christmas was Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. Turn it off now.
No, I think it's beautiful. We just listened to Grandmother tell us about Saint Nicholas in Czechoslovakia when she was a child. Oh, it was in Vienna. Excuse me. Did they have it in Czechoslovakia, St. Nicholas too?
Two the same.
They had the same, but it comes from the legend of a saint who loved children, and his name was Nicholas. And he was so good they later, I guess, hallowed him as a saint.
About the 11th century.
About the 11th century. I thought it was interesting that he was dressed in white and not red.
No, he was like a Catholic priest.
In white.
Mm-hmm.
And his hat was white.
It was gold.
It was gold.
Just like a Catholic bishop's.
I don't know what a Catholic
Gold.
bishop looks like, but a gold crown, more or less.
No, it goes like this.
Oh, yeah, it's more like a cap with a point on it.
Yes.
And a cape, a white cape, and a golden apron, did you say?
It was a double apron, like a double apron.
Mm-hmm.
It was one part in the front and one in the back.
Oh.
You have to attend some Catholic masses, and then you will see it.
I think I remember on TV the Pope when he came. Okay, well that's interesting. You were telling me about your Christmas tree once that I thought was unusually beautiful. How your mother never let you go into one of your rooms until Christmas.
Right.
And was that the 25th? And no one was allowed in that room? What was that story? I can't remember it.
Well, about 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas, the room in which little baby Jesus would come and bring the presents was all locked up, and we were not allowed to enter. I remember Jane, by mistake, she opened the door once and peeked in, but she couldn't see anything, but she was so unhappy. She thought, no, Chris Kindle, that is baby Jesus, never would give her any presents because she peeked into that room. But he did anyway. And so we were always very excited. And finally the 24th of December came, and that was Christmas Eve. That was the most important part of Christmas. The door in which the Christmas tree was lighted and the presents were all arranged under the Christmas tree finally was opened, and we dashed in and were just stunned about the beauty and the presents under the tree. And
How did your tree look, Mommy?
we
Tell us.
had an artificial tree,
Oh.
and it was the same tree each year. And we loved our Christmas tree. It was quite a big Christmas tree, but it was artificial. And when we got older, we decorated it. Jane and I, we decorated it by ourselves, but while we were young children, I guess Chris Kindle did it.
Chris Kindle, does that mean Jesus? Chris Kindle.
Christ child.
Christ child, Chris Kindle. I didn't realize that meant Christ child.
Yes.
But it was Jesus that brought the gifts on Christmas morning, not St. Nicholas.
No.
So that's
Saint
how it's
Nicholas
different
was
from ours.
only the 6th of
So
December.
Santa Claus was the 5th of December, and then the Christ child came on the 25th, 24th.
At
You
night.
had, Aunt Jane was telling me that on your tree you always had a bird. 'cause birds-
quite a few.
and you had candles that were lit
Yes.
with real lights, not, real flames.
Right.
And you always had candy hanging from your tree.
We had beautiful trees with silver chains and icicles and decorations, and our tree was always very beautiful. On top we had the little what goes around it?
With a star,
Yes, a musical on top.
a chime, or one of those
Chime.
little angels that cling, cling, cling.
Right.
With
right.
when the flames
Right.
heat them. I don't know what they're called, but the flames go on and it makes the angels go around. We have one on our table. But you had that on the top,
top
of your
of the
tree.
tree.
Oh,
Mhm.
how interesting.
It was very beautiful. And finally the doors opened and we dashed in. I guess.
No, keep going.
And at first we had our Christmas Eve dinner. And
Tell us about your Christmas Eve dinner, because I think it's something like we used to have as children. John's home, okay.
Christmas Eve dinner was always kind of very special, and we had fish for dinner. I mean, it was at night, and everything was all ready and clean. The house was all cleaned and prepared for Chris Kendall to come. And we waited out. His children were very excited.
So, Christmas was a special time of year. What was your favorite food that you had at Christmas time?
It wasn't really favorite. It was a custom that people ate carp, fish, for Christmas Eve.
Carp.
Mm-hmm.
And then on
And Christmas Day, it was a turkey.
a turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have here. I thought that was more American to have the turkey on Christmas Day.
Well, we had a turkey, and some people ate geese.
Uh-huh.
Geese are very favorite. That was a very favorite food.
And your babufka, was that?
Oh yes, we had babovka and cookies and all kinds of goodies. Too much of it.
Because that's what we always had was a babufka in the morning.
Yes.
And always had fish at night when we
Yes.
go to bed. I
Yes.
remember fried fish and Czech potato salad.
Right.
How we loved it. And always a babufka in the morning before we'd go out. And you always made Christmas so special for us,
Well,
Mother.
Christmas is a special time, and we should remember why we celebrate Christmas.
Yes.
And so many of us forget the real celebration. We should remember the Lord and how he was sent on this earth to become our Redeemer.
That's right. And I love the Christmas carols, and there's a Czech Christmas carol that I think is so special. It's called Nesem vám noviny. Shall we try to sing
Yes.
that? Nesem vám noviny poslakete z Betlémské krajiny pozodete. Slyšte jen pilně a neomylně. Slyšte jen pilně a neomylně. Radujme se. I don't know Czech as well as you, but we learned
You did
that.
very well. Very well.
We learned that one year, didn't we, Mother? And last year we sang it in our Sunday school as a traditional carol that I had learned as a child. Well, I know that you were always the Christmas spirit in our home because you had the true meaning of love and giving all your life, and every day that you lived you were thinking of others and trying to make others happy and helping us to be more like Jesus, and I hope we can be more
Well,
like you.
and we should remember that the Lord gave us the greatest gift we ever could receive, and that is He sent His only beloved Son, Jesus Christ, on this earth. And that's why we celebrate Christmas, and we should remember that.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to mention that what you had said. Who was that Saint Nicholas really?
It was my mother. That's why she never attended our
That's why
little
you
meeting.
couldn't quite figure it out,
And
right?
we couldn't figure
And
it
she
out.
knew you so well.
And why didn't you come in earlier when Saint Nicholas was here? And now you missed him. She always came in after he left.
She sounds like she was lots of fun.
Oh, yes.
What was one of the favorite things you got for Christmas that you remember? Do you have any special memories of one year
We
that...
always wrote a letter to Chris Kendall.
Oh, you wrote a letter to Jesus. That's Jared. He's getting a little restless. April.
And when we were real little and couldn't write, so we dictated the letter to Mother. And sometimes it was quite long, and Mother used to say, no, I don't know if Chris Kindle can bring the child to Christ, if he can bring so much, everything you have asked for, but he'll bring you what you would like. And we always had a beautiful Christmas.
Did you get dolls?
Yes, we always had a doll, and or our old dolls were repaired and had new heads on and new hair, because during the year their hair was combed so much they were practically bald-headed. But at Christmas time they had new heads and new hair and new dresses, and our dolls always looked beautiful.
I wish we could see one of your dolls. I guess they got left in Czech years ago, huh?
Mm-hmm. I had the doll. Maybe I still have it.
Really?
In the garage somewhere.
From Czech?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope we find it
Let's
somewhere.
see. No, I didn't. You're right. It was your doll I saved.
Yeah. I always loved my dolls for Christmas too. That was always my special time, as a new doll. How exciting it was. Well, Mother, I want you to know we are thrilled that you shared us some traditions of your life and your childhood, and we hope we always remember that. That's special, because that was my grandmother.
Thank you. Yes.
And your life, and part of the happy memories you had.
And my mother always was very cooperative when it came to things like that. She was Santa Claus, and she was the one who took care of Chris Kindle and the tree. We were not allowed to enter the room where the tree was, and on Christmas Eve, finally the door was opened and we could enter. I remember Jane, by mistake, opened the door once and almost stepped in, and then she cried and she said, oh, now I won't get any presents because I peeked in.
I'll bet that was a thrill to see it all decorated and beautiful on Christmas Eve.
It was overwhelming because we didn't see the tree before like the kids do here. Mm-hmm. And it was a real surprise, and the beauty and the candles, and it was just, we were always so astonished and overwhelmed to see the beautiful tree.
Somehow I can just imagine you and Aunt Jane as two little girls with
Yes.
eyes just as wide and as wondrous.
That's
as
right. That's
could
very
be.
correct.
Well, Christmas is still the same, really. We're still as excited and thrilled, and little children make Christmas what it is.
We had beautiful Christmas Eve. We ate fish for Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
That's the custom. Everybody buys a big carp, and that's what people eat for
Did that represent something, the fish?
good luck. That's
Good
all
luck.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a custom.
Well, maybe because Christ ate fish, maybe there's something in the background there. But okay, well, should we sing a song, all of us, about Christmas? Johnny, do you have something you'd like to share that you've been singing? Should we sing? Do we know another Czech song? How about Stille Nacht? Shall we try Stille?
Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht.
Oh, Heilige Nacht. Oh, my Deutsch is a little schwer. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's sing.
Let's sing it in English.
Stille Nacht, Heilige 1981, and we're closing off a year, another year of our life. Isn't that something?
That's right.
And we hope many happy Christmases in the future for everybody.